Y'all gonna have to pardon my language on this one.
I plugged the mic in, flipped a couple switches and started rhyming. It wasn't right then, but I kept writing, knowing I had to put the time in to earn my stipend. Do your guy a solid one time, subscribe and like this.
So I'm in my 20s, finding myself in my place. I had gained a little notoriety as an MC, so now crews are coming my way looking for a ringer, if you will. One such crew was led by this dude we're gonna call Junior, a regionally known, albeit somewhat reclusive R&B singer. Dude steps to me one day about getting down with this rap crew he's assembled. He talking budget, promotion, distribution. So I go meet him. We're gonna call this crew MC such and such and the so-and-sos. The main dude was decent, but boring. He had bars, and you could tell that was important to him, but his style was basic, one-dimensional, repetitive. Every line was premise, middle, punch with the exact same syllable structure. So all his bars sounded interchangeable to me. Here's the funny part. Despite Junior's insistence that they would soon, none of the other 3 or 4 dudes in the crew rapped at all. They were more entourage than anything. Still, despite these shortcomings, I started coming around and writing songs with MC such and such. Junior's beats were cool, and he had a nice studio at a time when you couldn't just go buy a nice studio for a couple stacks, you feel me? One evening, we all over at Junior's crib, and this young lady, supposed to be a budding singer, stops by to audition for something unrelated Junior got going on. And she got this real grizzly-faced dude with her that's like keeping his distance from the whole scenario. So when I step outside to commune with the elders, he and I end up having a little flow session, and dude is nice. So I speak with Junior about it, and now it's me, such and such, and Grizzly Face writing songs over the next few months. In my mind, this crew is starting to look viable now, though we weren't recording yet because Junior was waiting to hear a hit single. We meet at his crib or at his studio downtown, listen to beats, write, sip, commune with the elders, but he never turned the mic on. And that ended up being a really, really good thing. You see why in a minute. Overall, though, it was cool. I hadn't actually agreed to officially join the so-and-sos yet, but Junior's studio was in the same building right across the hall from my big homie studio where I'm still working on my debut solo album. Convenience. I'm a morning person. Junior ain't like to be outside in the daytime all like that. So it worked perfectly. One afternoon, though, he was down there for whatever reason and happened to peek his head in on a mixing session. Sees it's me, asks me for a few minutes of my time out in the hallway, and proceeds to trip. Like I'm not supposed to be working on anything outside the so-and-sos. Now, mind you, like I said, I'm in my 20s. I don't remember what my immediate response was exactly, but I do remember being entirely offended at the notion. So whatever I said back, it was spicy. And I stopped going around the so-and-sos after that and kept working on Project Alpha. Matter of fact, I must have been really bothered by the idea I was expected not to moonlight on a crew I hadn't even officially joined, because I ended up floating a verse around dogging Junior and his whole crew. That song didn't end up making the final album cut, though, and thinking back, I'm glad. However, that did not stop the so-and-sos from acting like they trying to nut up every time they saw me over the next couple of months, which was funny because they clearly knew where the line was and never dared step one single toe across it. All posturing. Me, never being one to underestimate potential, I refortified a little bit just in case. I had clippers, but it was big hedge clippers, to hold the house down. I went out and got a little beard trimmer just in case one of these dudes really pressed me for a shave and a haircut. Like I said, this went on a couple months. Really just heightened state of awareness though. No attacks. And then one day, I see Junior, MC such and such, and they whole squad on the evening news. Apparently, Grizzly Face had been charged with a crime so heinous, I can't even mention it here. It's so bad, even now, 15 plus years later, I think back and I'm glad I never actually recorded a song with dude. And Junior and such and them was all trying to hide their faces from the news cameras that day. Good thing I stopped going around them dudes when I did.